be studying projectile motion, which comes under the chapter motion in a plane. So we know that any plane is a two-dimensional area which we generally represent as x and y coordinates. So since we are studying projectile motion, we need to first understand what is a projectile motion. Imagine you are kicking a football. What happens? The football starts off from the ground and it lands again. So if you can imagine in your mind, or if you are throwing a stone also, if you could imagine you are standing here throwing the stone or kicking the football, it will come up and land again, right? So what happens? A velocity is attained by the stone or the football, and a velocity is a vector quantity. So we know that any vector divides, or an angle made by a vector quantity which is represented by theta, along the x-axis it is given as cos theta, and along the y-axis it is given as sin theta. So basically a vector quantity divides a two-dimensional plane along x-axis into cos theta and along y-axis into sin theta. So the path followed by any object is called a parabola if it satisfies a projectile motion. So we know that the equation of parabola is given as y equals to ax square plus bx plus c. Now, since the object starts from here, we can see the object is under the influence of gravity. So when the object is moving upwards, the gravitational pull, that is the acceleration due to gravity, will try to pull the object downwards. So since along x-axis you can see there is no change in acceleration, so along x-axis we can write ax is equals to 0, but along y-axis when the object moves, the influence of gravity will try to pull the object downwards. So when the object is going upwards, gravitational pull is pulling it downwards. So what happens? The acceleration along the y-axis is minus g, because the velocity or the direction of the object is against the direction of gravitational pull. So the initial velocity along x-axis we know that is cos theta, so we can write it as u cos theta. Along y-axis we can write it as u sin theta. Now, if you remember the equations of motions that we have studied in class 9, the first equation of motion states as that v equals to u plus at, which defines velocity. So along x direction, what would be the velocity? We can write it as vx equals to ux plus ax t. Now, what is ux? U cos theta. What is ax? 0. And we know that 0 into anything is 0. So u cos theta is the velocity along the x direction. Now, what would be the velocity along y direction? So since it is along y direction, we will write the suffix as y. So vy equals to uy plus ayt. Now you see, what is uy? Uy is u sine theta. What is ay? Minus g into t. So you can see the equation takes the form u sine theta minus gt. We can give it as equation 1, this as equation 2. Now, since we did for the velocity component, now we are going to do for the distance component. So, from second equation of motion, we know that the distance is given as ut plus half at square. So, distance along the x-axis and along the y-axis we are going to define. So, along x-axis, what will be the distance covered? Say ut plus, we would rather write it as uxt plus half axt square. Now what is ux? In the beginning we have defined what is ux. It is u cos theta and t plus half. What is ax? Is 0 into t square. So you can see this whole term will become 0. So along the x-axis the distance covered it u cos theta t. So we will give it as equation 3. Now along y direction or y-axis, we can write it as y equals to uyt plus half ayt whole square. That is, what is uy? U sine theta as we have defined before, t plus half, what is ay? As we have defined before, it is minus g into t square. So we have u sine theta t minus half g t square. This we give it as equation 4. I hope you are clear up to this part. So moving ahead, see, from equation number 3 what can we do? Equation 3 is x equals u cos theta t. We can find the time component, that is x by u cos theta, and we implement this value of t in equation 4. So from equation 4 what do we get? We have the equation 4 as y equals to u sine theta in t minus half gt square. So in place of t we put this value of t, x by u cos theta. So u sine theta x by u cos theta minus half g into x by u cos theta whole square. So what do we have? We can cancel u and u from here, and we can write x sin theta by cos theta minus half g into x square by u square cos square theta. And from basic trigonometry from class 10, we know that sin theta by cos theta gives us tan theta. So we can write this part as x tan theta minus x square g by 2 u square cos square theta, which is the equation of parabola. Now if you ask me, but sir, it doesn't satisfy the equation y equals to ax square plus bx plus c. I'll tell you how it satisfies. See, we have x square here, ax square, we have x here, bx. Now you'll ask me, where is c? Since c is a constant, c can be 0 also. If you remember from quadratic equation is written as ax square plus bx plus c equals 0. So if I write ax square plus bx equals 0, does it not mean it is a quadratic equation? This is also a quadratic equation, this is also a quadratic equation. If c is not there, that means the value of c is 0. Same thing here. We have ax square, we have bx, we don't have c, means the value of c is 0. Hence, this satisfies the parabolic equation, which is very important for you to remember. So dear students, as you have seen, this is the basic equation of parabola. We will continue with more related topics to parabola, like maximum height, maximum time, time of flight, etc. in the next classes. I hope you have enjoyed the class. See you soon.